This is my collection of Japanese black pine. Almost all of these are from the same grower, and they started their bonsai training as 2-year seedlings. They're all still young yet and have a long way to go, but my plan is to develop them into Shohin bonsai. For people who don't know, those are trees that are usually less than 8 inches tall or so. I wanted to share these with people who are interested in black pine or even just bonsai in general, because they all have something a little different going on, development-wise. So I'll show you a few of them and talk about different approaches I've taken and what summer looks like for black pines in general. So this first one is the furthest along in terms of branch development. You can see all this second flush growth. All these lighter green shoots are growing from sites I decandled. I did this one a little later than the rest of them. We'll talk more about decandling here in a minute. But all these green shoots will become branches, or the new extension of our branches, or the top of the tree. So here's a closer look at branch structure that we've got going on. The needles are long and it's hard to see exactly what's going on, but those needles can't really come off until probably November. Maybe I could take some now, but I don't think I really want to do that. This tree, kind of an experiment. The idea is to have an exposed root system, and in a few years I'll start cutting away this container. This maybe will grow out as a leader, this whole top part, or an escape branch. I'll remove it, and really the bonsai is probably all the way back here in this little branch. So these three are the ones I want to look at more closely because I think they illustrate what we do with Japanese black pine in the summer, sort of the whole process they go through. You can see here where I decandled, there's 2 little shoots. The needles are already growing. Almost time to take the wire off. It's starting to bite in. And you want some wire to bite into it. It'll help thicken the trunk. This here is a candle I did not remove, so you can see how long these needles are, and it won't be of any use to me, but I could grow that out also to help thicken the trunk and then remove it in a few years. This one I decandled everything, and it's growing really strong. All these long needles will come off soon, and it'll probably be a pretty cool tree already for as small as it is. In November it'll look very different than it does now. I'll wire this all down and try to bring it all in real tight to the trunk, because with Shoin bonsai, the tighter the knots or the tighter the twists and bends you can get into the tree while it's young like this, the better off you are. Sometimes the trunk will fuse, or you can make actual knots, and that would be another way to get a thicker trunk, maybe a little quicker. As it fuses, it'll create interesting shapes, odd shapes. This pine, if you look close, is further or is not as far along. You can see all these buds. So this one is at the stage where I need to remove a bunch of those buds, because you only want the 2 strongest at each site. But you can see how much smaller they are than the last tree I showed you. So in a week or two, I'll remove a bunch of them. This one is one of the first black pines I got. Um, it's pretty ugly. I think I made some mistakes, and that's okay. I wired this first branch with the hopes that maybe I could fuse it and create some kind of knot, like I said before. Here's a much bigger pine, and this was grown different. This has an escape branch. So I'll probably cut all of this off. I'm not sure when yet, but like where this wire scar is, that's probably about where I'll chop, because I just want the lower part there for my tree. And then I'll get rid of all those long needles and start developing branches. But this was grown out with this escape branch for the purpose of thickening the trunk. I could keep it and develop into a much larger tree, but I don't think that's something I'm really interested in. Hopefully, this was helpful for some people and informative. And if you could like, subscribe, share, and all that stuff, that'd be cool. Thanks.